Introducing Respawn Entertainment, the development team behind legendary shooters such as Modern Warfare and both Titanfall games. Longtime viewers will know that I consider Titanfall 2 to be the most underrated shooter of all time, and my game time over both Titanfall games would be high, even by hardcore metrics. So when it was announced that Respawn was making a spin-off Titanfall game called Apex Legends, I was both incredibly hyped, but also extremely cautious. I've made entire videos about how much I love the Titanfall franchise. The interaction between Titan and pilot, the grunts that are used as a dopamine boost, the wonderful sound of a Titan dropping from space, the excellent Titan timer system, unique and satisfying weapons, and the dropship endgame are only a few things I fucking adore about Titanfall as a series. Apex Legends, on the other hand, is not a Titanfall game. Players who love the Titanfall series as much as myself need to temper their expectations, as they may run the risk of becoming disappointed. With this in mind, players who can accept the game for what it is are likely to have a very enjoyable experience. Apex Legends is made up of 3 pillars that are all fucking enormous red flags. It's a free-to-play game, it's published by Electronic Arts, and it's also a battle royale. Personally, I've never been a fan of the battle royale genre, and I've even scripted an entire video about why that's been the case. I've personally found the format frustrating, deeply flawed, and wholly unsatisfying. However, with this in mind, Apex Legends is hands down the best battle royale game I've ever played. It's so difficult trying to wrap my head around Apex Legends. The game is as if someone took something I didn't like, then wrapped it in everything I loved. I don't like musicals, but Apex Legends is a really fucking good musical. Apex Legends is a bit like watching a movie at school. You're enjoying yourself, and you didn't think you'd be having this much fun, but you still wonder what could have been had you got the day off. The way it was announced is something that I really respect from Respawn. Showing the game with almost no traditional marketing and immediately releasing it into the world is a strategy that I'd love to see more developers doing in the future. And with over 1 million unique players signing up in the first 8 hours, and 10 million players 4 times quicker than Fortnite, this big brain play seemed to work out pretty well. The only criticism I have with the launch is that Big Daddy Vince didn't invite me to the event, but perhaps I haven't made enough Titanfall content to qualify. Big sad. But with this out of the way, let's start with everything Apex Legends does right. The class system isn't something that I'd expect to like, especially in place of the super deep customization of previous games, but after accepting it for what it is, the team actually did a pretty good job. Every class feels unique, fun, and useful to play, and the limit on only having a single class per squad makes it much easier to synergize with your squad mates. Each class has 2 abilities that are on a cooldown, with one being a frequent use tactical, and the other being an ultimate ability, such as a drop pod resupply, or an airstrike. The legends may initially seem cheesy, but players will find themselves warming to them after a few matches. A few favorites include a character taken straight from Lawbreakers, the Maori character that Dwayne Johnson plays in that Disney movie, a playable fucking Marvin that can high-five people to death, and a really edgy Scarlett Johansson.
This is what happens when you're not focused. You challenge the wrong person.
The looting aspect of Apex is also much improved from most battle royale games, as weapons and equipment are both plentiful, easy to find and identify, and most importantly, the whole process doesn't even make me want to fucking end my own life. Although, it's certainly going to be an adjustment of no longer being able to specialize in certain weapons and becoming proficient over hours of play. The weapons themselves are mostly just old guns from Titanfall 2. However, there are a handful of new additions. The legendary one-shot crate returns, which will make any sniper fan froth at the mouth. The devotion seems to have been nerfed, which is good news to everyone. And the R201 carbine has been reskinned for the 3rd fucking time. Overall, the gunplay feels just as good as ever. On a side note, Respawn Entertainment continues its obsession with redheads for a 3rd game running. A huge improvement from a number of other battle royale games is the ping system. players are able to contextually point out pretty much anything, from weapons, ammo, and enemy players. However, this takes it one step further, with in-game characters actually calling out whatever you ping, and even having more advanced options, such as showing an intention to hunker down, or to warn squad members that an area has already been cleared out. Overall, an excellent communication system, even for squads that already have microphones. In fact, the entire user interface is excellent across the board, and the inventory system is incredibly streamlined in general. The game even prevents players from picking up lower tier items entirely, meaning you can slide through patches of items spamming the pickup key and know you've come out ahead. The map itself is also very top tier in terms of battle royales, with good variety and an extra layer of complexity baked into the foundations of the gameplay loop. From the very start of a match, one member of a squad is chosen as a jump master. This person chooses when the squad departs from the dropship, and all players will automatically follow them, unless they opt to do otherwise. This is an excellent system of keeping a squad united, especially when some players don't feel the need to stick together. Key night players are also able to land on moving supply ships high above the map for some quality equipment, and the ships even land close enough to the ground to be boarded by enemy squads. Although, with that in mind, the safe zone never seemed to present anywhere near as much as a threat when compared to enemy players, and by using the zip lines around the map to get around, or even the sky elevators, it is unlikely that players will ever end up dying to the zone catching up to them. Another feature that is so fucking nice to have in a battle royale game is the ability to revive squad mates even after they have been killed. If a squad member is able to pick up a banner from your body and bring it to one of many respawn stations, then you are able to rejoin the fight, even if you don't get to keep any of your previous equipment. Gone are the days of having to wait 15 fucking minutes for your idiot friends to kill themselves. However, with all of these amazing additions to the genre, there are also some bittersweet realities that fans of the series need to face. To start with, this game was made in place of Titanfall 3, meaning to see another standard Titanfall experience, fans will likely have to wait another 3 years. This is a Titanfall game we've been given, whether we like it or not. There's also a lot lacking from what I personally like about the series. The first being the movement. For reference, this is what the movement system looks like in Titanfall 2. And this is what the movement is like in Apex Legends. Obviously, it's understandable why Respawn didn't make a battle royale game where every player could run at 70 km an hour, but going from what is possibly the greatest movement system of any shooter ever made to moving slower than the average FPS is certainly an underwhelming experience for longtime fans. The lack of grunts is also something I feel is a missed opportunity, as they always added a more lively environment to previous games and made even the least skilled of players feel as if they could contribute to their team. It's understandable why they are not present in a battle royale format, but I feel as if adding incentive to kill them could add an extra layer to the experience and even further differentiate Apex Legends from the already saturated battle royale genre. Although, this may be personal preference. However, the biggest elephant in the room is that a spin-off Titanfall game does not feature any titans. And as understandable as that is for a game mode that only permits each player a single life, it will still be a sorely missed addition. However, an optimistic view may be that titans could be planned for future development. This could be incorporated in place of the current ultimate abilities, or perhaps its own game mode that pits 2 teams of 30 players against each other. Whatever the case, I wholeheartedly believe that titans could have their place in this game, as after all, if everyone is overpowered, then no one is overpowered. The likelihood of this actually happening, unfortunately, seems lower than YouTube videos over 10 minutes, not featuring an annoying mid-roll ad. The monetization model for this game is subject to change, but currently it looks much better than expected when considering the less than flawless history of the publisher. New legends can be purchased with earnable currency, and currently, premium currency is used to buy loot boxes that contain cosmetic items. These boxes can also be earned through gameplay, and the chances of earning each rarity is clearly displayed in the store page. Season passes are also confirmed, however it is unclear how much these will cost. Although, we can only hope that these passes can encourage fast and frequent updates that are so crucial to the survival of games in this genre. The previous updates for the last Titanfall was admirable, but many fans were still left wanting more. We can only hope that there's plenty in store for this ambitious new title. Overall, this isn't the microtransaction utopia that was available in Titanfall 2, but it's also a very good middle ground, considering its free-to-play business model. I think almost all the criticism I can give to this game is rooted in the context of its development. A game like No Man's Sky isn't a bad game, but the expectations and context of its release destroyed the reputation of the studio, regardless of their well-meaning intentions. Similarly, Call of Duty games are objectively really fucking good, but their yearly release cycles and lack of fresh gameplay systems drastically subtract from their appeal. Apex Legends also has a problem with context. Fans of the Titanfall series, who are expecting a Titanfall game, are going to be disappointed. This is ultimately not a Titanfall game, but instead, a game set in the Titanfall universe. However, if die-hard fans of the series, such as myself, can get over the fact that this is yet another battle royale game, following what is an obviously profitable trend, then they might be able to appreciate this game for the very different experience that it is. Apex Legends without the context is a phenomenal game, and likely to command an enormous share of the battle royale player base, but this will likely not stop the true day one Titanfall fans from wondering what could have been. It was expressed by CEO of Respawn Entertainment, Vince Zampella, that something Titanfall themed will be ready by the end of the year, but it's extremely unlikely to be a substitute for a sequel to Titanfall 2. With this being said, when all the game systems have come together and your squad gets out of an impossible situation alive, it's truly unbelievable that this game costs nothing. In this situation, for example, my teammate goes into a building alone and gets ambushed and killed by a full enemy squad. In any other battle royale, that would be the end of Mr. Random, but Apex Legends knows that kind of gameplay doesn't lead to amazing memorable moments. Instead, it gives you the tools to succeed regardless of the odds, and dares the player to take advantage of these unique abilities and gameplay mechanics. And as demonstrated in this clip, I'm able to get into this building full of the rival squad, pick up my teammate's banner, and escape back through the portal I made to safety. I'm then able to get that teammate back into the fight less than 3 minutes after they were killed. It's these moments of unbelievable bullshit plays that completely sell me on this game. Here are my closing thoughts. Apex Legends is not the game I wanted from Respawn Entertainment, but against all odds, I really fucking like it. Respawn has managed to do to the battle royale genre the same thing they did to shooters as a whole. They took the formula and became one of the very few development teams to push it forward in incredible and creative ways. And unlike Titanfall 2, which was drowned out by two of the biggest shooters in an awful release window, Apex Legends has managed to carve out its own release time and still stand firm against the dominant offerings in the battle royale market. As much as it's tempting to wonder what could have been, it's instead more productive to wonder what could become of the amazing Titanfall franchise in the future, especially after it is able to commercially redeem itself and further expand its fan base to new and wonderful heights. After much reflection and hard-fought justification, Apex Legends has won my support, not only because it's genuinely the best game in the genre, but it also paves the way to a mainstream Titanfall game in the future. A game that, if given time to refine, may go down as the single best shooter of this generation.